There was a young lady on another channel asking a question about whether or not people can change long term, and are there just things that are foundationally impossible to change in another person, no matter how much effort they seem to put in or how much potential they seem to have. But the issue is that you're so focused on wanting someone to change or trying to figure out how a person can change, studying that person, picking out their flaws and focusing on them. You're spending so much time and energy focusing on what you perceive to be a flaw, something that is hurting you, something that you're taking personal. And you really are wasting your time. And just bear with me here. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or anything like that. I just want to tell you straightforward my opinion about this. You can't change another person. You should not be spending this much time and energy focused on your pain and focusing on how you can change someone to make you feel better or to make you feel a certain way. You are literally wasting your time. That's not your job. That isn't your job to hone in on another person who isn't your husband, by the way. This is a person who you've been spending your time with for the last 4 to 5 years. Not married, just a boyfriend that you call a boyfriend. That's not marriage. So you are spending your energy and time for the last 4 to 5 years with a person, and you see that it's not going the way that you had hoped or the way that you envision a relationship to go. But who is this person? Yes, you spent time with him for 4 to 5 years and you have feelings for him. Obviously, I get that. You've developed feelings and emotions for him over time, and I'm pretty sure that you've given him your body, which further entangles you with him emotionally and spiritually and all the things. So I completely get that. You feel like you have feelings and the feeling of love for this person, and now you feel disrespected by them. How could they do this to you after all this time? How dare they do this to you? How dare they not act a certain way? How dare they not know how to take accountability or move the relationship forward and all the things? I completely get it. But take the focus off of that other person for just 1 second, because you have been focused on this other person for so long that not only are you spending your time trying to figure out this person like a science project, but you've allowed the disrespect, and you've just allowed the disrespect to go on for so long that you're not even angry. You're so calm about this because it's been happening to you for so long with him, because you've been just waiting for him to change and giving him the opportunity and the time. You have been humoring him for however long he's been treating you this way, that you're not even angry at this point. I would not even. So with my standards and with, the way that, I operate now in my life, for one, I'm not going to be spending that much time with someone who is not my husband, for one. And number two, before I get married to somebody, or before I'm going to be spending my time with them, I have a certain set of standards and boundaries that, once they get crossed once, that's it. I don't keep getting the red flags thrown in, around in my face and up in the air around everywhere, and then say, I don't know, he's a really good guy. I've been dating him for 4 to 5 years. Like, maybe he'll change. Maybe he'll see that we've been together for 4 to 5 years. I know he doesn't want to throw that away. He doesn't want to waste that. I know that he loves me. I know that he feels the same way that I feel. No, hon. They don't. They don't feel that way about you. And I hate to say it like that. And I hope that I'm not, offending you. If they felt that way about you, the same way that you feel about them, right? He would have married you already, and he wouldn't be treating you that way. He wouldn't be treating you the way he's treating you if he felt the way you feel about him. So you got to ask yourself, what am I doing dating right now in my life? What is the purpose of even dating? What is your goal right now? Like why are you wasting your time dating, actually? Like, why do people, what is the point of dating? I can see, dating to marry, and you're ready to get married because you're at the correct point in your life. I repeat, you're at the correct point in your life, and now you want to start dating to marry. You're serious about marriage, and now you want to find a husband. And actually, you don't find a husband. The man needs to find you a husband. A man, when he finds a wife, he finds a good thing. You should be so busy living your life to the fullest, living your life being happy, living out your purpose every single day. God gave you this life and filled you with gifts, that you need to be busy sharing with the world. We need everybody to be sharing their gifts, to be making this world a better place. And it's not until you start to do that, or until you start to, when you're finally living that life, that you're actually going to be so happy enough that you're fulfilled on your own inside, that you begin to even attract that. That's who you're going to be wanting to attract in the first place when you are, ready to get married, when you're seeking marriage and everything like that. But until you're at that point, what are you doing wasting your time dating? Because now you've put yourself into a position, where you're in a, technically you're in a unlawfully, you're not lawfully in a relationship with this person biblically, okay? Because now you're falling into bad habits, let's just be honest here. You're falling into bad habits such as fornication and, wasting your time, continuing to wait and throw time away, spending your energy on somebody who is not even living up to, your standards. Let's just be honest. Is he living up to your standards? The answer is no. Well, why are you, okay? Take the focus off of this other person. You are allowing that, okay? And I heard that you said, you're trying to really just focus on you, and you're trying to really just focus on you so you don't make things a big deal. But are you really doing that? Like, I don't think you're really, really, really doing that. Because if you were really, really focused on you, then you would have already walked away from this situationship. You wouldn't even be having this question to begin with, because you would have it within yourself to say, you know what? Who cares why he's doing, and I get it, okay? You have these questions because you're like, well, I've given you this much time. I've given you 4 to 5 years. I've given you my body, because as women, when we give men our bodies, it's like, okay, I gave you my most ultimate treasure. Now you owe me loyalty. Now you owe me honesty. Now you owe me accountability. Now you owe me responsibility. Now you owe me, doing the right thing. But newsflash, no, they don't. And they never will. They never will do that. actually, when you give them your most prized, valuable possession, they're going to take that for granted. They're going to run with it like a thief in the night. They're going to run away with it like a thief in the night. They're going to see you as easy. They're going to see you as an option. They're going to see you as, oh, I can have sex with this woman and I don't have to marry her. I don't have to show up as the person that she needs me to be, because why should I? I've already gotten sex from her. So, this is an agreement, to them, this is an agreement that you guys, an unspoken agreement. Okay? Stop hoping and wishing and praying and idealizing and, thinking that your life is a Disney movie and you're a princess and he's a prince and he's going to come save. It's not real. He is who he is. The actions that he's doing, that's him already. Stop waiting, He's not his potential. He's just him right now. Stop where you are right now and just look at all the time that you've wasted and just accept it. Just accept it. You didn't say, you know what? Wow. I've wasted 4 to 5 years with a man who is not my husband and who will not change. I need to walk away. For my self-respect, for my dignity, for my growth, I have to walk away. I have to walk away. It's the only option. Not unless you're not done being hurt, unless you're not ready to grow. If you still need to go through another cycle with this person, then fine, do that. But I'm telling you right now, you are wasting your time with this person. All the energy that you're putting on trying to figure out and trying to analyze and diagnose a person and wondering whether or not these are things, all that energy, that's your energy. Bring it back to you. You are the power. You are the owner of all of that chaotic energy that you're trying to throw on someone else and trying to get them to do. No, that's not your... That is not your role in this life. Bring your energy back to you. Call it back to yourself. Say, you know what? I'm not gonna fucking do this anymore. I have too many. I have too many other things in life that I need to do, that need to get done. So cut it off, instead of saying you are trying to focus on you and trying to meditate and trying to learn. What does trying mean? Okay? Stop trying. You can't try to do anything. Just decide that you are focusing on you, and that's it. You get the word try out of your vocabulary when it comes to this kind of thing. You either are or you're not. And you're not. You're not. You're focusing on your focus is on more than one thing. So bring it back to one thing and just focus on that for a while. Focus on you. Who are you? Who are you? We know who he is. Yeah, we know who he is. He's, self-centered, he's narcissistic, he's abusive, all the things. But who are you? Who are you? What did you get here for? What did God put you on this earth for? What is the beautiful gift inside of you? Let's focus on that. Let's focus on what it is that you can share with our earth. How you can help another person to become their best selves. Who are you inside? Develop that. What are you working on? What are your hobbies? What do you want to get better at? What do you want to get good at? What are your goals? Make yourself ready. Because, I know that you want to be married. I know you want a relationship, but you're not ready. You're not ready, because you are what you attract. You know, you are what you attract. This is very spiritual. Okay? And relationships and marriage are very, very spiritual. It's just like a mirror. Okay? They are your mirror. Where they are lacking, where you perceive they're lacking, somewhere in you, you're lacking the same opposite thing. Okay? Let's find that thing. Let's find that thing where we're not fully healed at and where we're not fully, developed in. And cut his ass off. Okay? Break up with him. Let it go. Let go. Have the strength. Have the strength to let go. Value yourself enough to say, you know what? I deserve more, and I have been allowing this to happen, and I need to take responsibility, and I need to stop it. I know this is wrong. Nothing about this is biblically correct or right. Okay? And yes, I am very serious when it comes to my faith and the Bible and everything like that. That is just, those are foundational truths that I live my life by. Now, the Lord did not create you to suffer. He did not create you to hurt because of another person. Actually, he created man and woman to be together and to complete one another for marriage. Okay? And so, but those were two whole individuals. We need to become those two whole individuals before coming together into a marriage. But you cannot be whole until you work on yourself, develop yourself, analyze yourself, put the energy back into you, and get your life together. Get your life together and stop worrying about dating. Stop wasting your time dating, because there will be a day and a time for that. There will be a time in your life. I promise you, there will be a time in your life when you will be ready. After all the things that you've done and put into yourself, after all the work that you put into yourself, you will be ready, and you'll be so busy anyways. You'll be so busy focused on changing and saving the world with your purpose, living your life, making this world a better place. That's going to be your happiness right there. That's going to be your fulfillment already. You could be fulfilled alone. You seeking someone outside of you for one thing, for another thing, it's just like that right there should tell you, okay, I am not whole, because I need, I need another person to make me feel better, or to make me complete, or to change so I can feel this way. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You have to be a whole, healed, developed person in all areas of your life. And this is not, this should be fun. This is not something that we gotta dread, but it's like people don't want to do the work. I don't know why. We just don't want to do the work. Nothing comes easily. A marriage is not just going to be followed out of the sky. You're not just going to have a relationship with someone and it's just going to work out because you guys think y'all are the one that it will work. No, it's not. If you're not fully ready to be in a relationship or a marriage, it's never going to work. It may work temporarily, and it may work. Let's say that quote. It may seem like it's working, but eventually down the line, problems will arise if you are not ready to be married, and you're not ready to be married. It's clear that you're not ready to be married. Okay, girl. So. People are not stupid. Men are not stupid. this man may not be your husband, and he may not have asked you to marry him and try to take the relationship to a more higher level, but he's not stupid, okay? When he's doing things that are disrespecting you, he knows what he's doing. He knows when he's gaslighting you into making you think that everything's your fault and that he never does anything wrong. He knows when, he knows. And every time he tricks you into thinking things are your fault, behind your back, he's saying, oh, yes, got her again. I have the power over her because she believes me. She's so stupid. What an idiot. I tricked her again. Ha ha ha. And I still get to sleep with her without marrying her. So that it goes back to your self-love. When you're a person that continues to accept this sort of behavior, gaslighting, manipulating, psychological games and abuse and things like that, and something is not right and something is off with the way this person's treating you, yet you continue to stay and try and diagnose and only look at the potential that is not even who they are, it's just potential. But you're ignoring all of the abuse and the trauma and the red flags, something's wrong with your standards. Something is off with your self-love. Something is wrong with who you are presenting as. Something is wrong inside. There's internal work that you have been ignoring and not doing. You've been ignoring, and you've let it get so far down in the line to where now he just does it anytime he wants to, anytime he feels like it. Because why not? You've ignored it for so long, keep on ignoring it. That's his mindset at this point. You've conditioned him into thinking it is okay to treat you in a certain way. Okay? Stop focusing on this other person and them gaslighting you. It's your fault. It's your fault. Okay? The first thing we need to do is take responsibility in these situations, especially when they've gone on for so long. Because you knew when the first time he did it that it was not right and that how bad you felt. Yet you stayed because of some imaginary promise or hope that you had in your mind. Okay? We need to get out of that. We need to get out of that fantasy life, that fantasy idea of what life is. And when someone disrespects you, and see how easily they're doing it, he doesn't care. He doesn't care that he's doing that. And you should not care by walking away. You should not be feeling like a bad person because now it's time for you to walk away. Why should you feel like a bad person? He didn't feel like a bad person when he gaslit you. He didn't feel like a bad person when he, plays dumb. So what do you feel bad for in walking away? Walk away. Respect yourself. Love yourself enough to say, I'm done with the bullshit. Excuse my language. But girl, you've got to stop wasting your time with someone who doesn't care about you. This is not love. That's not love. It's not love. And we need to call it for what it is. Accept it and call it for what it is. Who cares how much time you spent together? Who cares about what memories that you might have created together? Who cares? You need to cut your losses. The sooner you can just cut your losses and move on and learn and grow from this situation, the sooner you can put this bull crap behind you. Put it behind you. And now use it as a reference to say, I am not accepting someone who can't take responsibility or someone who gaslights me. The first time someone does that to me again, I'm going to say bye and leave and not turn back and not think anything of it. Because I deserve a certain level of respect. I deserve this amount of respect. And until a person can prove that they're able to treat me with this amount of respect on a consistent basis, then they have no business. Then I don't have time. I don't have the time to entertain this individual. And that is the only way you're going to be able to protect yourself. That's the only way you're going to be able to maintain your standard and to attract the people who actually belong in your life. You can't lower the bar down for people, man. You can't lower the bar down. You know, hold people up here. They hold you up here, don't they? Everyone holds you to a standard. Make sure you do the same. You deserve that. You deserve someone to treat you right. But it's up to you. It's up to you. You are your best friend. You are, the mother figure that you never had. You're your protector. You have to protect you. But no one's going to do it for you. No one's going to protect you for you. You have to know that, I have boundaries and I have standards. And if that doesn't meet my standard, and if that crosses my boundary just by a centimeter, then it's not for you. And that's okay, because we have 9 billion people on this earth. And the more you walk away from stupid toxic stuff, and you learn that, that's not for me. Fire's hot. I don't want to touch that anymore because that's just not for me. It's fine. It's all great. It's for someone else can have that. I don't want that. I'm going to reserve my energy and my time for another caliber of person. And the more you continue to do that and work on that and hone in on that, you're developing that. You're developing your core standards. You're developing your boundaries. Okay? It becomes stronger and stronger. And like I said, you are who you attract. And one day you will attract the person with the same morals and values. Okay? And it's not a race. It's not a race to, I need a relationship. I need somebody. I want to be with somebody. All of that energy, all of that anxiety, and all of that desire of wanting, all of that is just internally your need to be whole, which means you're not done working on yourself. You're not done developing yourself. There's things you need to work on. There's things you need to fix in you first, and like I said before, once you are living as a whole person, living in your purpose and doing all the things, you're going to be too busy to even think about it. And then one day the right man is going to find you, but you have to have faith. You have to have faith that God loves you and he wants you to be in a healthy, whole relationship, a marriage that is ordained by him. But you need to have faith and then put the focus back on you. Now I know you can do this, okay? You can do this. But you've got to be disciplined. And this is about cold turkey, and this is about consistency. Every day, living this life of, okay, it's my life. What do I want to do? What do I need to do? What do I need to work on? What's my purpose? What do I need to do? What tasks do I have? What errands do I need to go run? Did I work out? Am I eating healthy? Do I need to wake up a little bit earlier? Do I have kids? Do I need to make sure I learn how to declutter? Do I need to learn how to, learn more skills? Do I need to get counseling? Do I need to get training? Do I need to get coaching? Do I need to do something? What do I need to do to make myself better? How can I improve myself? How can I build upon myself so much that everything starts to work in place, in order, the way it is supposed to work? You don't force anything to work, especially with another person. You work on you. That's your job. So that's what I'm challenging you with, okay? Work on you. Figure out who you are. Focus on you. And stop focusing on another individual who is completely flawed themselves and needs to focus on themselves, frankly. Okay? Only they can do the work that needs to be done. Only they can look inside and say, you know what? I'm an asshole. I need to stop being narcissistic. I need to stop being so demonic up in here. I need to find Jesus. I need to get the Holy Spirit. For goodness sake. That's their job. That's their work. You have two completely different jobs, two completely different lives. Okay? So let's bring it back to you and love that. Find joy in that. Find peace and solace and contentness in that. That's everything. You are amazing all by yourself. God made you who you are, and you are amazing. You're perfect. Be happy because of that. That alone should just be like, you know what? Who cares about anything? I'm alive. I'm breathing. The sun is up. You know, God woke me up for another day. Wow. Like, wow. What a miracle. What a miracle it is to be alive. You know, like let's start thinking about these things, you know. And then I bet you if you just started to do that, your perspective would change so much and your priorities would change completely. So yeah, I hope this helps somebody. I hope that helps someone. I hope it helps a lot of people. And if it did, please comment. Please comment down below. And I want to help people. You know, I want to help people because I know that's not easy. I know it's not easy. When we get ourselves in these situations, it's hard to get out of. I get that. I have literally been in all of these situations. All of them. And I lived through them and got out. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. For saving me. And putting my focus back onto what's really important in this life. So if you're struggling with stuff, I get it. Comment down below. Contact me. Let's talk about it. Let's work on it. Let's figure out how to get you out of this problem. Okay? And I'm here to support you. And I'm here to motivate you and be your cheerleader. And tell you the truth and bring you back to reality. You are amazing. You are worth so much and you are so valuable. And I love you. And I hope you have an amazing day. And I will see you back on here for another video.